Hello, I'm John Bachman. After a midterm election that saw his party lose the majority in the Senate, President Obama is now talking about cooperation.
Can do lawfully through executive actions to improve the functioning of the existing system.
But Senator Mitch McConnell, almost certain to be the next Senate Majority Leader, says acting alone on immigration is like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Immigration reform is a huge issue in the Latino community, of course, and it appears Republicans might be making inroads there. Take a look at the numbers from the Texas governor's race, for example. Republican Greg Abbott won 44% of the Hispanic vote, 6 points better than Governor Rick Perry was able to do just 4 years ago. The New York Times found similar numbers in elections in Georgia and in Kansas. And in an op-ed in today's Wall Street Journal, Senator McConnell and Speaker of the House John Boehner say they want to focus on things like tax reform, school choice, and the national debt. The president and congressional leaders will meet tomorrow. And still no result yet in the Alaska senator's race. Senator Mark Begich isn't conceding despite trailing Republican Dan Sullivan by about 8,000 votes out of over 200,000 cast. State officials say there are still thousands of absentee ballots that need to be counted. And tons of new supplies are headed to West Africa to help the fight against Ebola. The North Carolinian-based aid group Samaritan's Purse is sending 90 tons of gear, including protective gloves, masks, and boots.
We want to protect our healthcare workers, our military. But until we go to West Africa and put out this fire, the whole world is going to continue to be at risk.
Well, Dr. Kent Brantley was working with Samaritan's Purse in Liberia when he contracted Ebola. Meanwhile, in Spain, cheers for the nursing assistant who contracted Ebola more than a month ago after treating a sick missionary in Madrid. Teresa Romero has now been released and has offered to donate blood to anyone else fighting Ebola. And one person being treated for the disease here in the United States, Dr. Craig Spencer, is doing better today. He's now in stable condition. He's still in an isolation unit at Bellevue Hospital in New York City. Health officials say they're monitoring over 350 other people for possible Ebola symptoms, but none are under quarantine. But in the Ebola-ravaged country of Sierra Leone, things are much worse. Ebola burial teams shrouded in protective gear are now following strict guidelines in taking victims away, preventing families from carrying out their traditional ritual burials. The Ebola death toll in West Africa is now hovering around 5,000. And take a listen to the sound of Christmas. That's right, crews in Pennsylvania and the town of Bloomsburg this morning are cutting down an 85-foot Norway spruce that will become this year's Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. It'll be lit for the first time on December the 3rd. Another update coming up for you in 30 minutes. I'm John Bachman. Now back to America's Forum.